Back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. We are now on part 6 of reading the amended Diddy lawsuit, which is now involving several other celebrities. We will be reading this in full. Draw your own opinions. I am just reading this through for you guys, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Here we go. Plaintiffs attempted to make conversation with defendant Helena, in which she admitted she was the same person who plaintiffs had met with previously. Defendant Jaguar, aggravated, stated, "You let them know who you are. That's really great." Plaintiffs noticed defendants had large brown bags and manila envelopes full of cash that was banded. It appeared that they were separating the large sums of cash to distribute as they were placing cash into the manila envelopes. Defendant Jaguar discussed with defendant Helena how the party started the first black-owned network. Upon information and belief, plaintiffs believe that network to be Revolt TV. Defendant Jaguar and defendant Helena discussed the other co-conspirators, but referred to them by their middle names: Natasha, who is defendant KK, Pedro, who is defendant Gonzalez, Lyra, who is defendant Valdez, Cornelius, who is defendant Odell Beckham Jr., and Larry, shortened for Lawrence, defendant Pelletier. When defendant Jaguar said Cornelius is upset, defendant Helena said that defendants Odell and Druski were her clients and nothing better happens to them. And plaintiff better not say anything about them or she would have plaintiff deleted. Defendant Jaguar then told plaintiffs that they were being taken to John. Plaintiffs now know that was referring to defendant Diddy. When defendants arrived with plaintiffs at the Loma Vista location, it appeared as they were waiting and coordinating for others to arrive. A large sedan arrived and plaintiffs were placed in the back with defendant Valdez. Defendant Pelletier was driving. Plaintiff then arrived at a short driveway or curb. Plaintiff remembers looking for intersections, street signs at this location and found blank. This was blanked out. A dead-end street off of Loma Vista Drive. Plaintiff John Doe repeated the name of the street to himself, so he remembered and was able to whisper into Jane Doe's ear to remember the intersecting street name blank. Plaintiff believed this was the home that they would be deleted in and tried to devise a plan for escape. Plaintiffs were brought into the house and into the kitchen, where they were watched by defendant Gonzalez. Plaintiff repeated their pleas to defendant Gonzalez to be released and for mercy, which he replied, "There's nothing he can do." Plaintiffs could hear other people inside the home and tried to listen to understand what was happening, which included a woman's scream. Eventually, plaintiffs were led deeper into the home where they encountered more individuals, including defendant Diddy. Plaintiffs observed several individuals gathered around a bed while defendant Gonzalez and Valdez stood outer guard. Plaintiffs observed defendants Jaguar and Helena enter the residence. Defendant Jaguar told police, "He wants something you have. If I were you, I'd figure out what it is really fast." He, the defendant, was referring to, believed to be defendant Diddy. Shortly after, defendant Druski appeared wearing a vest and shorts, and he engaged in conversation with plaintiffs. Plaintiffs tried to appeal to the defendant by talking about the music industry, and defendant instructed plaintiffs that they should cooperate. Plaintiffs described what they observed during the encounter of plaintiffs Ashley Parham after this interaction with defendant Druski. Plaintiffs observed plaintiff Ashley P. having an IUD forcefully placed in her woman part by defendant KK, with the assistance of defendant Brandy. Plaintiffs heard defendant KK make a remark about how plaintiff's Jane Doe would not need an IUD because of her age. While hearing plaintiff's Ashley P. scream in agony during the forced IUD incident, plaintiff Jane Doe yelled, "Stop hurting her." Plaintiffs observed defendant Shane place a pillow over plaintiff P's face, suffocating her, and plaintiff Jane Doe yelled for them to stop or that she would be deleted. Plaintiff Jane Doe believes plaintiff Ashley P. did lose consciousness because she became limp and unresponsive. Defendant Diddy instructed defendant Valdez to shut her up, and defendant Valdez hit plaintiff Jane Doe with the handle of his pow-pow. Plaintiff John Doe witnessed plaintiff Ashley P. being assailed by the remote, and when he tried to say something, plaintiff was told to shut up or they would put the remote in him next. Plaintiff John Doe believes he heard defendant Jaguar make remarks, "Put that remote in her. She's going to learn today," and tell plaintiff Ashley P. that she was going to make it worse. Plaintiffs believe the remote incident was to punish Ashley P. for the IUD failure. Plaintiffs heard defendant KK remark to defendants Diddy and Druski that she needed to keep them sufficiently pharmaceutical and revealed a bag full of pharmaceuticals and other paraphernalia. Defendant KK appeared to be dispersing doses to defendant, asking them their weights to administer the proper amount. At some point, plaintiff John Doe was taken to the bathroom. While in the bathroom, he believes there may have been other tenants and began to bang on the walls, hoping someone would hear him, but the only person who heard him was defendant Valdez and Gonzalez, who were outside keeping watch. Upon plaintiff John Doe's return, he saw defendant Odell Beckham Jr. Plaintiff John Doe took immediate notice of defendant Odell because when he took his clothes off, plaintiff remembered defendant being in great shape, especially in comparison to the other undressed people, such as Diddy and Druski. Plaintiff John Doe overheard defendant Diddy and Odell discussing business and the plan to have plaintiff Ashley P. return to New York with defendant Odell Beckham. Plaintiff John Doe could not readily observe where plaintiff Jane Doe was during this time. While during this time where plaintiff Jane Doe was out of sight of plaintiff John Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe was being SA'd by defendant Valdez in another room. Plaintiff John Doe witnessed the R-wording of plaintiff Ashley P. Plaintiff Jane Doe witnessed the gang R-ing of plaintiff Ashley P. also. Plaintiff John Doe witnessed defendant Druski douse plaintiff Ashley P. in baby oil and then jumped and slid across her body. Plaintiff John Doe observed defendant Diddy and Druski manically and hysterically laughing, which plaintiff attributed to their pharmaceutical use. Defendant Diddy then attempted to force plaintiff John Doe to also SA plaintiff Ashley P., and he refused. Defendant Diddy instructed defendant co-conspirators to throw plaintiff John Doe into the wall several times in order to get him to comply with his demand to R-word Ashley P., which he would not comply. Defendant Diddy instructed defendant co-conspirators to yank, grab, pull at plaintiff John Doe's man parts violently in effort to punish him for not participating in the R-wording of plaintiff Ashley P. Plaintiff John Doe remembers defendant Big Homie CC saying he was going to look for pliers to use to further torture plaintiff. Plaintiff John Doe believes defendant Diddy wanted plaintiff to R-word Ashley so that they could frame him in the event that plaintiff Ashley P. reported her SA. In an effort to get DNA from plaintiff John Doe to place on plaintiff Ashley P., defendant Diddy had one of defendant co-conspirators orally copulate plaintiff John Doe to get some man stuff from him, but it failed. Plaintiff Jane Doe observed defendant KK return to the room to check on plaintiff Ashley and providing her with an IV, telling her to breathe deeply. Plaintiff John Doe watched plaintiff Ashley lose consciousness. At some point, plaintiff Jane Doe returns after defendant Diddy, Shane, Druski, Odell, KK, and others leave the home and retire to either the backyard or to the upstairs patio. Plaintiffs were left alone and unattended with an unconscious plaintiff, Ashley P. Plaintiffs were crying after observing the SA upon plaintiff Ashley P. and began to realize this was their next chance to devise a plan for escape. Plaintiffs began looking for any type of weapons and exit points to make their escape. Plaintiff could not find any phones or anything weapon-like or sharp things in the kitchen, as it appeared all the cutlery and silverware had been removed from the home. Plaintiffs were trying to act quickly while defendants left them unattended and were outside smoking, drinking, and loudly laughing as if having a party. Plaintiff observed others outside, believed to be defendant Diddy's sons, Christian and Quincy. Plaintiff observed them roughhousing and practicing layups, basketball moves. Plaintiffs heard defendant Diddy tell his sons to watch the gate and make sure no one left. Plaintiffs observed defendant Gonzalez outside the front door, where the front door was barricaded by yellow crime scene-like tape. The door lock was unusual because it was facing backwards, needing the key to exit. Fearing no way to escape, plaintiff Jane Doe mentioned to plaintiff John Doe that she overheard them say, "Put it on top of the refrigerator," and instructed plaintiff John Doe to check to see if there was anything on top of the refrigerator. Plaintiff John Doe found a sharp object on top of the refrigerator in the kitchen. Plaintiff then heard ramblings from the room plaintiff Ashley P. was in and went to check on her and to stop her from making too much noise that could thwart their escape plan. Plaintiff told Ashley P. they weren't going to hurt her and that they were here to help. Ashley, just now coming into consciousness and being horrifically R-worded, was upset, terrified, and unsure if plaintiffs were trying to help or were they also co-conspirators. Plaintiffs eventually were able to get Ashley to calm down and listen to their escape plan. Plaintiff told Ashley they could not find an exit to escape and needed her help to escape, otherwise they would all be deleted. Plaintiff Ashley, after experiencing her ordeal with defendants, believed plaintiffs and agreed to help in an escape. Plaintiffs told plaintiff Ashley they had found a sharp object and that her assailants were in the backyard, which was believed to be the best exit for escape. Plaintiff Ashley then exited the home with the sharp object concealed to the backyard. Shortly thereafter, defendant KK returned and took plaintiff Jane Doe to the balcony, leaving John Doe alone in the residence. Plaintiff believed defendant KK did not check the residence because she believed plaintiff Ashley was still unconscious. While on the balcony, defendant KK demanded plaintiff Jane Doe sign documents. When plaintiff refused, defendant yelled to at least two of Doe's bodyguards. Plaintiff would not sign and asked them to assist. Plaintiff believed the documents were related to creditors claimed plaintiffs had against the Michael Jackson estate. During this interaction, parties hear a pow-pow, which causes everyone to run toward the backyard where they rang out from. We are going to stop right there and end part 6. We'll be coming back shortly with chapter 7. Tell me what you guys think about this lawsuit, you guys. There is a lot to unpack here with this situation. Again, please like, share, thumbs up this video. Follow all videos so you guys know when I release my next one. Until next time, be safe. Enjoy your day. Bye, guys.